Hello everyone, welcome back to the iracing channel, and today we're doing something different. We are doing a quick guide on brake bias, or balance as it's known, and this is to help new people into sim racing or even real racing life if you want to. It's transferable into how to achieve consistent lap times using brake bias across all setups. But we need to know what it is first. So brake bias, it establishes the ratio of braking force between the front and rear wheel brakes. What this means is there's a percentage that goes across all the brakes and where the force of the brakes go to. So if your brake bias is a higher percentage, it means more braking force to the front. Your front brakes will lock if they're too high and you'll understeer on the turning phase. On the opposite, if it's a lower percentage, rear brakes will lock up and the car will spin from the rear, unexpectedly oversteer. So we're in the Porsche 911 RSR GTE at Imola. No ABS on this car, so it's perfect to show you how to use brake bias to achieve better lap times and perfect control of your vehicle. So as you come down the hill, my brake bias is set really high to the front, which means I'm going to get a load of front brake lockup. As you see on the LEDs, purple means front brakes are locking up, and I'm going to get a load of steer and understeer, and I won't be able to turn the vehicle under the brake phase, trail braking, and I'll come off the track. However, on the opposite side of it, as we approach this chicane here, you'll see I'm even struggling when the rear brake bias is put all the way to the back, struggling to even get it through in a second gear corner there. But as we come to the corner again, you'll notice that I've got the brake bias down to 53%, so real all the way to the back. And you'll see as I put the brakes on, I'm going to get some yellow LED indicators showing my rear brakes are locking up significantly, and I'll get some snap oversteer, uncontrollable, and I've just lost the race, lost my qualifying lap, or whatever you want to say. I've ruined it, and I've ruined my tyres. So Imola, this is what Imola looks like for me on my brake bias. So on a flat piece of tarmac in my current setup on Imola, 55.8% is my perfect brake bias on full fuel. As I go around the track going up or down, as I'm going uphill, braking force will need to be put more forward because the car's weight will not shift forward because of gravity, and on the opposite, it will need to be shoved to the rear when I'm going downhill because I've got more gravity, more weight pushing the car onto the front tyres. I don't want to overload that grip and lock up. So I'll show you what that means in a kind of lap, but you need to find your own brake bias kind of setup because everyone's driving style is different. So my 55.8 might be your 53 or etc. So you need to go around the track, find a nice flat piece, brake hard, and discover, as you can see here, where your perfect kind of brake bias is, where you can control the vehicle under the turning phase while you're trail braking to that apex. So again, as you can see up ahead on Imola, you can see that my brake bias is still set at 55.8. Nice piece of flat tarmac as I'm going through all these corners, hitting the apexes nicely. As you see on the top right, I'm not locking up the brakes, there's no smoke coming from the tyres. A little bit uphill there, but you can see I've got some yellow LEDs. But I managed to control the braking using the engine as well, so I didn't have to brake too hard. But as I'm going uphill here, I've upped the brake bias by one click. I'm up to 56%. That's because I'm going uphill and I don't want to put too much onto the rear tyres, so I need to put the braking force to the front. However, coming downhill now, especially on this long sweeping turn, I'll put the braking bias all the way to the rear as much as I can without losing it in the turning phase, and I've made the apex safely. Now, this next braking into the chicane, we are going uphill. So on the turning phase uphill, we're putting the brake force to the front to allow the weight to transfer more to the front and more braking and grip to the front of the vehicle so I can turn. And then onto the last corner, which you've seen already, but I've lowered it all the way down to 55% from my 55.8 to allow for that braking downhill. I don't want too much weight going to the front tyres and causing some understeer and some front brakes lock up. I want to save the tyres. But in essence, to summarise kind of that, braking downhill equals a lower brake bias, that due to gravity, and on the opposite, when you're braking uphill, you want a higher brake bias. It is as simple as that. So higher brake bias means you're going to get more understeer, lower brake bias means you're going to get more oversteer. You need to find that balance, and that is just down to trial and error. If you have any questions at all about brake bias, I know this is quick, but I don't want to waste your time. Drop them in the comments below, I'll be happy to answer them. Have a good week, race well, see you again soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers.